This video is one of the videos from a course entitled MBTI Learning Styles, a Practical Approach for Educators, Parents, and Learners. This course is available on Udemy, Teachable, and Thinkific. If you're interested in just the book, which is also part of this course, you can find it on Amazon in both paperback and Kindle versions. We're going to look at intuition now. Intuition is part of the information preference. So in contrast to sensors who take in information through their five senses, touch, taste, hear, smell, and see, sight, right? These people take in their information through patterns and possibilities. They love theory and they like to imagine of what could be. These people are your visionaries in life, and that's how they're really going to approach information. We're looking here at our intuition people. Look at the top of your chart. Intuition is on the top half of the chart. They are on the what part? The possible. Possible. What is possible? The envisioning piece. They're going to really prefer to interpret and add meaning to what they're learning. Now, this is interesting. Intuition, 26% of the total population. Wow. I mean, if you really out there in the world, you have to look and say, you're a minority here. And this gets difficult because when you are looking at a classroom full of people who are sensing, you really need to wonder how you're going to approach your situation. How are you going to approach life and how are you going to approach learning when you are surrounded by people who prefer the tactile and that five senses of learning? Let's look at our keyword. Our keyword is innovator. Does that fit? Now remember, these are people that want to look at possibilities and envisioning. So yeah, innovator is a great word for them. So every time you think of an intuition person, intuition, innovator. See how they connect? Innovator, intuition. They both start with that IN. So there's a great connection there. They want to approach the question on how it's going to help them solve a problem. Now, this problem could be present or future. They just love the idea of solving things and seeing a solution. Let's look a little bit into their learning style. Now remember, their learning style is going to be how they approach and process information, right? This is their information processing. So these people are energized through their new material. Man, they get so excited to learn something new. It's just incredible. They will work through knowledge with great spurts of energy. They get super excited about them. They're creative. Don't forget, innovative, creative, that innovative keyword, right? Now, what are they? They're not creative and innovative all the time, but they're creative and innovative within their learning process, and especially with any new knowledge that they may acquire. They love patterns. They're going to look for relationships. They want to see that interconnection, and they're going to search for a general concept or a big picture. Now, this is interesting because these innovators, although the details are there and they know that they exist, they're only there as they relate to the big picture. They don't really care about them too much. They're only recognized as they are connected to an existing pattern or an existing relationship. And most of the times, details are just going to be completely ignored by an innovator. Now, these intuition learners, they're going to search for these patterns and knowledge, and they're going to create patterns and relationships between new knowledge and old knowledge. So they are very swift and very quick at scaffolding their own information. They will trust on their hunches when they're learning before they will trust upon many other things. They enjoy possibilities, and they're going to describe things almost in a poetic manner sometimes. They also love those original ideas. You know, those new facts, we talked about that in the beginning, how they're energized by new information. They're patient. Did you know that? Patient in learning. They love to learn. And since they love to learn so much, they find patience in it. And one thing that really annoys them is errors and mistakes. And they're going to take those errors and mistakes and they're going to create another learning opportunity from them. They will many times even practice until they find perfection. Now, the really cool thing about innovators or intuition, right? I keep saying innovators because I want you to remember intuition, innovators, is that they continually see possibilities and they're going to look for future applications of all knowledge that they receive. So what does the cognitive environment look like for this student? This type of student, an intuition student, it loves a fast-paced environment. Now they want a fast-paced environment that provides them with lots of new information. They're going to hate repetition, they're going to hate routine, they're going to hate review, but they love new information. Now, whether or not they like a noisy place to work or a quiet place to work really is more dependent upon their extrovert or introvert preference, but for the most part, they still enjoy the fast-paced learning. Now they have a desire, actually let's go back for a moment. Do you see the conflict there? Because if you have an introvert preference, you generally do not like a fast-paced environment. But what if you have an introvert preference and you are an intuitive student? Now you have a conflict between slow-paced and fast-paced, and you're going to have to create a real balance there for these students. Let's move on here. For your intuition students, they want to be innovative, so they really want to have a choice in assignments. They don't want specific instructions and details. They're the people that are going to really want the, one of my favorite things to use with these students is like a bingo sheet of assignments where they can choose what they want to do. Problem solving. Wow, they get so excited and energized over problem solving. It's a motivational opportunity for them to learn. Now, they can learn very effectively in patterns or partners or through self-instruction. But again, this is going to be dependent more upon their extroverted versus introverted preference than upon their intuition. Let's look at what this means for a teacher. As an educator, you're going to really need to recognize that these type of students need opportunities to be creative. They need to be innovative. They need to find new ways to use information. And even if the information is really old or stale, you're going to have to find some way to spice it up or to make it exciting for them. I don't have solutions for you for that because that really is going to depend upon the information, the subject matter, the topic, the age of it. It's very difficult to be able to create something new and innovative out of a history lesson, but you're going to have to be able to find out how you can do that. Never dumb down anything for these students. They really, really hate it when people talk down to them because they love challenges and they feel very boxed in or defeated when information is just regurgitated. They don't like that at all. They also do not like it when a lecture or a class very, very quickly and methodically follows a handout or a visual. They like that general outline, but they really prefer that people were to move off topic a little bit and to look at the concepts and to be more exciting. They're going to love to approach theories. They love theories. Now this is in contrast to this sensing student who likes that tactile hands-on, right? They're going to be more into the methodologies. But the innovators, the intuition students, love theories. They love trial and error. They like to find opportunities to see a problem and to fix it. Graphic organizers are a wonderful opportunity to help them to scaffold the new and old knowledge, and partnerships will work well for them, especially if you're to put a student into a partnership with another student and encourage them to answer the question, why? Why is an awesome, incredible question to ask of the intuition student. Now, as a learner, if you're an intuition learner, let's look at some ideas for you. So patterns and relationships are best in helping you to retain information. Try to create some kind of information between your old things and your new things. How can you make a connection there? Graphic organizers aid in that many times. Go back over your notes and see what you can find, especially old notes from old classes or old lessons. Try pairing up with another student, especially a student who is more of a sensing student. Try jumping out of your comfort zone a little bit and learn from somebody who learns differently than you do. You would really want to find somebody who thrives on curiosity, somebody who is very energized by curiosity, energized and curious about the world is going to help you to assimilate this information and to gain new information, as well as to really aid in creating more patterns and relationships. So as details tend to become more difficult for learning because you like to focus on those general concepts, see if you can find a general relationship or a relationship between a general concept and some details. And ask questions. Don't forget that why question. Always ask why. Why? Attempt to really anticipate what your teacher is going to say next. What is going to come next? Where are they headed? What's the point in what they are saying? And as you start to focus on where it's going next, that aids you in paying attention, but also into gathering some new information. Use some patterns in your note taking. Be sure to annotate your reading, especially drawing in the notes, or drawing in the side margins. And use metaphors, abstractions, and symbols. The biggest, and best tip for a learner is to really maximize on those energy bursts. It's almost like saying that if you have a sunny day, that's a great time to go out as a runner and to get some exercise in outside. But if it's pouring down rain, that may not be a great day for you to go out and to run. And it's the same idea for this kind of a learner. An intuition learner really needs to maximize on those energy bursts, those sunny days, and really work hard because they know that they may not have that energy burst later. Most importantly, as with all things, be sure that you pay attention to your individual ideas. What works for you, what doesn't work for you, what makes you happy, what doesn't make you happy. And the thing that I love to tell students as we're working through personalized learning plans is really focus on and think about how it makes you feel. When you work on something or you're learning something in a particular way, was that tedious? Was it overwhelming? Was it depressing? Did it feel like a burden? Then that probably wasn't the best method to learn from, right? But if you approach a learning situation and you feel energized and happy and it was exciting and you can't wait to do it again, you have a wonderful, wonderful opportunity, or you've created a wonderful methodology from which you may learn.